So Ubisoft has been in a downward spiral for the last like 5 to 8 years or so. And it seems that their desperate attempt to save themselves financially is to remake the most popular game in the franchise, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Suplex! Ouch. Did you just survive a suplex? That's crazy. So, way earlier this week, the Assassin's Creed 4 remake was shown off on Twitter, and I think it's safe to say it's come to some pretty mixed reviews when it comes to reception. There's a lot of people who are just kind of like anti-remake as a whole, which I wouldn't say is where my standpoint is. There's also a lot of people who think the game is pretty modern and really isn't having any issues in terms of kind of like gameplay or accessibility. Assassin's Creed 4 is pretty easy to come by, pretty easy to get on really any console right now, and really doesn't have the issue of janky or outdated controls that a lot of games that get remakes these days tend to get. If I was gonna talk about how I personally feel about the Assassin's Creed 4 remake, it's kind of weird. I've come around to the idea of the remake, especially if it's able to take Ubisoft out of their financial shithole and also put them on a better track to making better games, because honestly, I really do love the Assassin's Creed series and I do want them to get back on track, but I feel like it doesn't really change enough of the original game, in my opinion. I'm kind of a big fan of the reimagination style of remakes like Resident Evil, which I've been playing a lot recently, Silent Hill, and the like. I really like when remakes kind of take on a new entire kind of identity, kind of do like a story rewrite, kind of do like a lot of new things to modernize the game. And I know that's a little bit of a hot take, but I do really enjoy playing a game that I've loved and cherished and enjoyed in the past, and getting a new perspective and like almost a completely new experience out of it. I think it adds a little more reasons to purchase the game for a second time. And unfortunately, Assassin's Creed 4 Remake is not that. It's kind of just a ground up remake of the exact same game in the exact same, or in a different engine. I also like reimaginings like that because it makes a remake that doesn't really replace the original game and gives players a reason to go back to it. Whereas I feel that when a remake is basically the exact same thing as an older game, but with better graphics and better controls and pretty much better everything, it kind of replaces the original and makes the original obsolete in a lot of ways. I kind of feel this way about the Resident Evil 1 remake. I kind of hate the idea of bringing a game into existence that just makes it feel like there's almost no reason to tell a new player to go back and play the original, because there's a new version that's improved in pretty much every way entirely. Some people say that art style is a factor, and I think that generally in Assassin's Creed 4, art style is a little I mean, the original game was trying to go for realism at the time, just like the new version of the game is, so it's not really like the art style changed. I know there was a lot of set pieces that were a little more weathery in the original game that kind of seemed to be taken out. But honestly, I think that is just kind of in the interest of making the Caribbean seem more like the Caribbean and how most people actually view the Caribbean in general. It's kind of something you can get around. I think a lot of the animations are actually a little better in the new one, especially because they recontextualize some of the scenes in ways that I actually think is good, like the Adewale scene where he's just being initiated onto the Jackdaw's crew. He actually seems a little more welcomed than he did in the original. I don't know how to make that make sense, but just the way that Edward was kind of looking at Adewale was kind of, I don't know, a little bit mistrusting in the past. I thought it was a little strange. The good news is that people who really enjoy original games and really enjoyed the original, there's not really much changed here except for like a more in-depth combat system and everything. So if you're kind of a purist and like remakes to be kind of exact rehashings of the original game, this is kind of perfect. I mean, it literally is the same game with a couple of added quests and a new, more diverse stealth section and better tailing missions, which is kind of what we always wanted. So it kind of is an improvement upon the original thing in a lot of ways. But if you're kind of a person like me who really enjoys playing a whole new experience, the good news is that we kind of don't really have to buy this one. We can kind of give it a skip if we already have the original, or even wait for a big sale, which is probably what I'm going to do, because I do want to experience the game at some point. I just don't really want to pay $60 for it, being that I've kind of already played it and I already own it. So I will probably be getting it in the future. I just really don't plan on getting this on launch, which is fine. I do have hopes for the series in the future though. Honestly, if this remake does well, I would like to see Assassin's Creed 1 through maybe Revelations remade as well, because while I do think that those are very good and almost perfect games in general, Assassin's Creed 1 has this very big issue of investigation missions that go on and are extremely repetitive. It is literally, you can choose to do 3 or 5 investigation missions, and I swear to God, they make you do the same ones like 12 times. It sucks. It genuinely sucks. It's terrible. And I really hope that they can remake this and either give a lot of the individual investigation missions their own identity so that there's a reason to actually like want to go back and play them, or just entirely rewrite the game as a whole and kind of make it fit the perspective of something that we have nowadays, and also give Altair an actual Middle Eastern accent like he has in Revelations, because why the fuck does he just sound like a regular white guy? That's so weird. But yeah, honestly, that's kind of my entire thoughts. I know this is a bit of a short one today, but I don't know, the AC remake is a little bit of a nothing burger in my opinion. It's kind of just a rehashing of the original game. If you really like Assassin's Creed 4 but kind of want some better systems like tailing and, you know, the pirate ship being a little bit improved and everything, I mean, this is a really good game. It looks pretty much perfect. It's the original Assassin's Creed 4. It's great. I mean, what more is there to say? Assassin's Creed is great. But yeah, if you haven't seen me on Twitch, I'm playing the Resident Evil series right now. I'm almost done with Separate Ways and moving on to Revelations 1. So if you want to see that, check me out on Twitch. I'm live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Sundays. Suplex! So yeah, go check me out. And if you're interested in chatting about Assassin's Creed or Resident Evil or really any other games that are coming out soon or later, join my Discord. It's pretty sick in there. It's pretty cool. I'm a fan. Thank you for watching this video out of all the videos on YouTube. I know there's like a couple of videos on YouTube, so, you know, I really appreciate you watching this one. And I hope you guys have a really good rest of your day. Goodbye.